welcome to an infectious video. Welcome to a fresh infectious video if you're new to this. If you've been, watching for a minute, welcome back. This week, I always say it's a simple topic because I feel like most of these topics are simple. I just feel like we overcomplicate a lot of things as human beings because we have big brains and we think a lot. So you have like thousands and thousands of thoughts every single day. So some topics, some concepts tend to be a little more complicated than we think, but in reality, it's really, really more simple than we, think. But I hope you guys are doing well. As you can see, I have some hold on, shit. Right there, something going on right there. Something new. I added some lights. I made them look like clouds. I watched this YouTube video, and I was like, yo, I gotta do this. So one day I just bought the stuff and I did it all on last Saturday. I'll show you guys after the video because I don't want to mess up the camera angle. Or I could just record it at the end and then cut it now, huh? Yeah, let's do that. So I forgot to record this before I cut the video. So I'm recording this on my phone. Hello. This is it. This is it. It's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. I wish I could flip the camera. Man, I might have to start recording again though. But so yeah, it's like a trail. I can change the color. Fuck. I gotta make another video. Hold on. Alright, so this is kind of what it looks like. You know what I mean? It's still daytime, so it looks better at night, but this is it pretty much. Made it look like clouds, added some lights under it. I can make some like lightning and shit. I could match it with the music, so the lights are really cool. So yeah. The topic of this video, it is. I thought of dying a couple days ago or something like that. Like the idea of death. So it is, if anything you did was the last time you could do that specific thing, how would you do it? Would you do it with your best of ability? Would you do it half-assed? Would you do it average? Or would you do it with love for the action? That's not something I could fit here. I've been on and off of putting the title down here. But anyways, so if you were to do anything, whether that be walk your dog or, go visit your parents, finish this book, read this book, write a book, do a poem, anything, really anything. Like, how would you do it? Would you do it with, 100% attentiveness to that, action? Or would you do it like you don't give a fuck? Like you're just like looking off, not really caring about what you're doing. Really like one foot in, one foot out kind of vibe. Would you do it that way? Or would you do it, 100%, like really in that moment? And when I thought about that, I was like, well, there's a point in that. Like, if I do anything, let me do it like it's the last time I'm going to do it, because I don't know when I'm going to do it next. It's the idea of, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen next. We just are in this present moment, and we can imagine. We tend to imagine the future based on the past. That's how things go. Because it's really hard to imagine something without taking it's in like small things from the past. You know what I mean? Like a concept or an idea or inspiration. Like a lot of artists, they find inspiration within life. That's why they say life imitates art and art imitates life, because it's a constant action of let me grab from this, let me grab from that. So, we should be a bit more conscious of we should be a bit more conscious in our present moment instead of looking so far of like, oh, well, I could do this again tomorrow, or I'll be able to see them tomorrow, or, I'll be able to enjoy this tomorrow. And I'm not saying, like go crazy, like, oh, I might die tomorrow. Let me eat this fucking entire meal and a half and more because I don't know if I'm gonna die or not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, like be extreme on your actions or be extreme on on things that you do, I'm saying really just enjoy the moment, enjoy what you're doing, enjoy how you're proceeding with things, because it's very easy to say, well, I'm doing this again tomorrow, or I'll get the chance tomorrow, or we rely on tomorrow too much. I feel like tomorrow is it's a 50-50 chance. Like if every day you went to bed and it says, will you get to experience tomorrow? Will you get to, live tomorrow? Like right here, like, will you get to live tomorrow? Yes or no. Like yes or no. Yes or no. Yes or no. You don't know. It's a 50-50 chance. So even if you do get to, wake up the next day, who says something might not, something might happen or not? I don't know. And it's like, you don't really want to say that, because then you're like, oh, well, why are you saying that? Like but it's like the reality of shit, It's like, it's something you don't want to say, but it's something you have to say, and it's something you have to address. You have to address because it's a reality of things. They say all good things come to an end, but really everything comes to an end, good or bad. And it's not really seen as good or bad. It's seen as, what's within this moment. I don't know if it's like a good or bad thing, Is it good if I take a break? Is it bad if I take a break? Well, in the moment, how do you feel? How do you feel within that moment? Don't try to guilt trip yourself. Also, that leads me to my next thing. Don't try to guilt trip yourself for not doing something, Like a lot of times, especially as as a creator myself, it's funny, I can call myself a creator. But yeah, I create. Sometimes I get in these modes where I'm like, I really have to finish this. I really have to, like crack down and just get it done, or like binge this project, or like get this idea, like really have to press and get this idea on paper, because I feel like I have an idea, but I don't know where it's at yet, but I just want to do it. Like a lot of times I get in those modes where I'm like, I have to do this right now, but in reality I don't. But then if I don't do it, sometimes I feel guilty. I'm like, man, I had 2 extra hours of my day of like free time where I could have done something, but I didn't. I just chose to really enjoy life as it passed by, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Enjoy life. That's the whole point of things. And I feel like we guilt trip ourselves at times when it comes to just enjoying the moment. And sometimes that moment is doing nothing. Even doing nothing is doing something. Like you're not doing anything. But I don't feel like we have to guilt trip ourselves for not doing it, because that makes it more of a chore. It's more of like guilt tripping yourself for not doing something that you love because you want to take a little break. Shouldn't be seen as a chore. It should be seen as an opportunity, a blessing to do that. And I'm giving myself, another opportunity to take a step back from it, to relax, to really enjoy the work or enjoy my moment. So don't guilt trip yourself for, taking some time out for yourself or just relaxing. Because I feel like, especially in this fast-paced world, you get caught up. I feel like you get really caught up in what somebody else is doing or what you're not doing, and this, that, and the other, when in reality it's like your present moment, your future, everything's determined by you within that moment. Like, don't let somebody else's life take control of yours in a way. Like, don't let their aspirations, their motives, their routine, their habits really fall onto you, because they're a completely different person and you don't know what's going on with them. Maybe they have an issue going on. Maybe everything's fine and dandy. Who knows? But it's not your life. It's their life, and you have your own. So live it how you want to. Don't try to cast that on to yourself, especially when we find people that we're so alike. Like, if I find another artist or a 3D artist or a streamer that I like, sometimes I have to remind myself, I'm like, all right, doesn't mean I have to do that. It's whatever is, within my circumstance, like what's going on within my day or within my week, or how do I proceed differently. So I feel like it's very tricky, because at times you can see yourself falling into like, hey, I'm doing this because I see something, or I see someone that I can relate to, and in a way want to aspire to be, but we have two different lives. So even though it might work for them, it might not work for you. But I kind of went on a segue. But anyways, back to what I was saying. If you do something, do it with the intention of that's the last time you might do it. And this is for myself as well. This is something I've been practicing and been failing at, but still want to keep practicing, because I know I can get to the point of like, yo, I put everything I wanted into this moment, into this project, into this, situation, anything like that, and I'm satisfied. I didn't leave anything on the table. I didn't, second guess anything. I left it all out there to my best of my abilities in this moment, and I'm happy with it. It's just pretty much getting to the end feeling of like, oh, I'm happy with this, and being like genuinely like, I'm happy with this. Like, yeah, I like this. Thanks, self person. So, but yeah, that's my topic. It's something to think about, If you're gonna do something, do you want to do it to the best of your abilities? Do you want to do it half-assed? Do you want to, second guess it every time? Or do you just want to see, yourself do it and go through it and accomplish whatever you want to accomplish within that moment? Even if it's like half of something. Like, there's so much that we can do that we don't give ourselves credit for. So, really try to put that effort towards it. Again, this is a reminder to myself mostly, but it's definitely something I want to implement. It's something I'm implementing and want to keep implementing. I'm seeing how it can change my everyday life, because it'll leave me a lot more satisfied at the end of my day, and a lot more content with the next day. So, and I'm not saying there will be, but I'm saying if I get the chance, if I get another opportunity to live another day, then, I'm satisfied with the day I just completed, and I'm content and excited and looking forward to the next day. That's all I have. Something to think about. Definitely something to think about. I keep mumbling over my words, but I think I want to try to write some of these down, maybe, like when I find myself in these moments, and like just describe the moment. But I'll think about it and see how I feel about it. So hopefully this helped you. Hopefully this gave you something to think about and something new to kind of engage in within your everyday life. But we'll see how it goes. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. I just had a pause. It had to be a dramatic pause. Take care of yourself. You hear me? Do something you love today. See ya.